Hello, 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 hello. How are you? This is Elske from Bemis Crafty Corner. Today we have a little pocket thing. It's a pocket and a paper clip. Okay, so we're going to be doing this today. Easy peasy. You make a whole bunch of these as a make ahead, and then have them on hand to put into, something later on. Okay, so we're going to do this, and I'll tell you where the make ahead stops, and then we'll go ahead and decorate one, just because we can. So I'm going to get out a list of supplies, and I will be right back to show you how easy this one is. It is literally like 5 folds. That's it. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, tools on this one. 6x6 paper. That's what you're going to need. So this is great for your 6x6 paper pads. Paper is better than cardstock on this one, because the cardstock tends to bulk a little bit where the paper doesn't. Some heavier glue. I'm going to be using my 3-in-1 today. A bone folder, your paper clip, and a trimmer. Okay, I also have some newsprint here, which I'm going to cut down to 6x6 so that I can use this as well. Okay, so first things first, I guess I'll cut this down to 6x6, which means I'm going to fold it in half to begin with, because that makes it easier to put it in my paper trimmers, because it's a big piece of paper. Okay, so let me get out my trimmer, and we're going to take a little bit off the edge over here. 6x6. So got that. Now we're going to take it over here to 6. I'm going to trim this little bit, the fold off. Okay, let's see. There we go. 5/6. Okay. Now I selected a piece of this newsprint that I have in that book that is blank on the inside. Yes. So that's it. That's all of our paper and everything and all of our supplies. I'll be back in just a minute, and we're going to get started on this. I'll be right back. All right, so the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be folding. So let's start with, we'll do a piece of the newsprint, or a piece of the regular paper. And we're going to fold this in half, matching everything up, and hit it with the bone folder. And then we're going to fold in about 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches on one side. Hit it with the bone folder. And then we're going to bring the other piece almost to that fold. Okay? So almost to the fold, but not quite to the fold. Just like that. Now, we're going to take the points. These are the open points. We're going to fold those down, square to our fold line, okay, on both sides. We're going to hit those with the bone folder. Okay? So now you have a piece that has 3 boxes, and then the flaps are all bent, okay? Now, because I'm using this and it's newspaper and it's kind of thin, I am going to be adding a little bit of just plain white paper to this, just to thicken it up on this back portion only. Okay? So I'm going to measure that box real quick. For me, that is about 2 1/8 by 3. So I'm just going to get a piece of regular paper. I'm going to cut down to 2 1/8 by 3. Okay, and I don't want it to stick out, so I'm going to take it down just a scant amount, okay? And then I'm going to glue this onto here. And I can use regular glue for that, or glue stick, or whatever I want. This is just to reinforce the back a little bit, because this paper is very thin and very fragile because it's old. So I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to let it dry. And I'm going to fold the second piece. Again, I'm just folding this in half, matching up the corners and edges. Bring the first side in about 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches. It's being stubborn. Hit it with the bone folder. Bring the other side in almost all the way across. And then folding down my corners on the open side, perpendicular to the fold. And then I'm going to go over everything with the bone folder again. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this one back over. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting the paper clip in right here. And if you don't want your paper clip to show, here's a trick. Get out your hole punch. You can use a regular hole punch for this. And just right on the edge at the center, punch like half a hole. Okay? And then when you put your paper clip on, just set it in there. And that drops it down just a little bit. Okay? Now, we're going to glue. Well, now we're going to wait for the glue. We know how this works, right? Alright, so glue on one side, one whole side. Then I'm going to fold this over. Press it all down. Rescore all my lines. And then I'm going to let this dry. Okay? And then when I come back, we're going to put the whole thing together. All right? Well, we're going to ink. So we're going to ink across the top, down the sides, all the way around. Okay? So, all the way around on the outside, and then the inside on the back right here. So, ink, and we'll come back. Okay, so the next part is to glue down the flaps. Okay, and then you're going to decide, you know, which way you want it to go, and then you're going to glue down the bottom. And I like to glue down the fold a little bit. And then I'm going to let this dry, but I'm going to put a couple of clips on the bottom here just to hold that nice and snug while it's drying, okay? So again, I'm going to glue down the flaps. On both sides. And that's just to keep that from, you know, grabbing whatever you put in there. And then I'm going to decide which direction I want to go. Glue that down, glue that down. Put my pen back in. And I'm going to make sure that I didn't glue this closed. And then clips on the bottom just to let it set up. And I will be right back with the next step. Okay, so I'm in the process of editing this video, and I said to myself, but what if I have this piece of cardstock that I really want to use? So you better do that too. So I have a piece of 6x6 here, and I'm going to score this at 2. And then over here at about 4 1/4, 4 1/8, wherever you want to go. I'm going to go about 4 1/8, I think. There we go. Okay, so 2, 4 1/8. That's 1 tick past 4. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to score it at 3. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and fold in half and burnish. And then we're going to open it up. We're going to fold in our sides where we've scored, and I'm going to burnish. All right, so now I have a piece that looks like this. So I'm going to decide which one is, you know, my outside flap, which one's my inside flap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them this way. And I'm going to get out my scissors. And I'm going to take a very scant wedge. All the way down to that center fold. On both sides. Okay. Just a tiny little, you could just cut out the the score line if you want to. Then I'm going to go ahead and proceed like I would. Hole punch up here at the top. Give myself about a half a hole. Put in my paper clip. Drop it just down inside there. And then glue the center flap. You thought I said it was going to say the whole thing. Just the center right now. The idea here is we're trying to get rid of that extra bulk. Okay, so I'm going to put this part up. And then these two sides, Make sure I get this one even. Yep, there we go. Take that off. Okay. This one a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm going to glue these two down. And then I can fold these over. Okay? Now, let that dry and set up, and then just proceed as normal. Do your inking and everything, and then just come back and glue your flaps down. Okay? So you're cutting out basically your score lines on one half, and then cutting your corners where you're going to be folding these flaps in, and then you can ink and put this all together. Okay? I hope that helps. All right, so these have dried. I'm going to go ahead and take these clips off. We'll get those out of the way. If you're doing this as a make-ahead, stop. That's it. Stop. Okay? You don't want to go any further than this, because then it's kind of, you know, set in stone what it is as far as decoration and decor. If you're going to, you know, be making this for something very specific, then you can continue on. So let's go ahead. We'll do this one. This one's more general. It would be a make-ahead. This one is, you know, a little more foofy. All right. Okay. A little bit more here. Okay. Let me go ahead and put some ink on this. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and peel the back off. If I can get the back off. There we go. And then we're going to make a little tag to go in there, okay? So this is 3 inches tall, and it's exactly 2 inches, 2 1/8 wide. So I'm going to make my tag, it's going to be 3 by, let's see, 3 1/4 by 2. Okay, so I'm going to get out some stuff to make a tag, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have a nice Amy tag here. So I'm going to cut this at 3.5. Keep that. And then 2. And this one is about 2.5. So I'm going to take it to 2.25 on this side. And then turn it around and do 2.25 on, 2 and get it to 2 on the other side. And then I'm going to recut the corners. Scissors. Here we go. And that's my tag. And, I can decorate this if I want to, leave it blank, whatever I want to do. But I'm going to put a little bit of ink. And I'm probably going to round these corners. Just because it makes it easier to go in and out of the pocket. I think I might take a little bit more off. And let's take it down to 3.25. There we go. Re-round to the corners. Re-ink the bottom. In it goes. That's better. Okay. So that's it. That's my little paper clip. Okay. If you're making these ahead and you want to put them in your stash and have them, stop here. Do not decorate. If you are doing it for a specific project, then go ahead and continue on until you get to that point. Okay. That's it. That's all I have for you today. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, hit the button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends. And don't forget to check out the community tab here on the YouTube channel, or scoot on over to my Facebook group. There is a link in the description box below. There's all kinds of games and projects and, community events that go on over there. And we would love to have you join us. But until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.